This is a game with George R.R. Martin involved. So there are a few things that are kind of essentially guarantees. There's betrayal, political conspiracy, and death. Lots and lots of death. And most likely of all your favorite characters. Hello everyone, I'm Bunny Bouncer, and welcome to my rabbit hole of gaming and all things in the geekdom. Last video I talked about 7 upcoming shows that I'm excited for. Today we're going to get started on my list of games I'm excited for, but I wanted to take a little bit more time to actually dive into these because there's a little bit more information on them. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to start with, but somebody on my instantaneous telegram ended up commenting and bringing up this game, so I thought, why not do this one first? I aim to please. And that game is Elden Ring. It's being developed by FromSoftware, which is known for games like Dark Souls, and Bandai Namco. The release date is January 21st of 2022. The story is, the Golden Order has been broken. Rise, tarnished, and be guided by grace to brandish the power of the Elden Ring and become an Elden Lord in the Lands Between. In the Lands Between, ruled by Queen Marika the Eternal, the Elden Ring, the source of the Erd Tree, has been shattered. Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring known as the Great Runes, and the mad taint of their newfound strength triggered a war, the Shattering. A war that meant abandonment by the greater will. And now the guidance of grace will be brought to the tarnished who were spurned by the grace of gold and exiled from the Lands Between. Ye dead who yet live, your grace long lost, follow the path to the Land Between beyond the foggy sea, to stand before the Elden Ring, and become the Elden Lord. It sounds very epic to me, and it also has a little bit of mystery with it to kind of make it more interesting. The platforms it can be played on will be the Xbox Series, Xbox One, PS5, PS4, and PC. So the graphics look incredible. You can see the individual blades of grass, and you can see the light textures, and I can already tell my computer is going to explode trying to play this thing. But the 5 seconds that I do get to play it, whew, it's gonna look amazing. The style of the game regarding graphics, animations, and the overall feel of it reminds me a lot of Mabinogi. If you played here in the US, you probably know it as Vindictus. It's like a blend between realism and high fantasy, but more styled in the way that Korean video games style them, such as like Arcade and C9 and Mabinogi. Everything looks really clean and really well done. Even the animations when you see the fight scenes in the gameplay trailer. And that's exciting to me because that's what I like to see in RPG games. As I said before, the story is really intriguing to me. There's elements of it that look really creepy and more horrorish, but I assume that's going to have a lot to do with the power of the Elden Rings being split and all of that contributes to the type of creatures and the type of world bosses you'll be dealing with. And I imagine it's going to be explained why they are the way they are. And the bits of story that they've shown have me really curious what the deeper story is and the part that you play in this story. So they did a really good job of pitching that out before you even know very much of anything. The story itself was very capturing. And the company making it, which is FromSoftware and Hidetaki Miyazaki, they were the ones responsible for Dark Souls. From what I understand from Dark Souls, because I didn't play it, the story is very broad. So if you miss the tiniest little thing in the world, you could end up missing a crucial part of the story. And from interviews talking with Miyazaki, he has stated that he's trying to make this game more character-centric. That's why they brought in George R.R. Martin to make the character story be the true center point of the game. He did say he plans for it to still be broad and exploratory like Dark Souls, but to be centered on the main character so that is the focus. And having George R.R. Martin on it is fantastic. That has me so excited because he's an amazing storyteller. And from what I understand, he didn't just help with the main story, he helped with the boss stories as well, and their site states those to be profound backgrounds. So I'm guessing each boss has a pivotal part to play in the overall scheme of the story. It's also supposed to be an open world game with dungeons, and the dungeons are supposed to seamlessly connect with the open world. You can travel on foot or mounted, so to me that puts me in mind of something very vast and very expansive. Now, the issue they could be facing with that is if they have too much travel and too little story, they can very easily lose people like me. For instance, if it's like a 60% travel, 40% story split, I will very quickly leave the game because I want most of my play to be story and with some travel in between to give to that realistic feel. A good split to me is like 30% travel, 70% story. If you're enjoying this video, make sure you subscribe and also comment and let me know that you enjoyed the video. It's being pitched as an action RPG with co-op options, so I'm expecting something a bit like Outriders, where you play your story and you progress your story, but then you can bring group members on and progress their story along with yours, and just raise the difficulty depending on the amount of group members you have. Which I really like because it keeps your group tight-knit, and you don't have to worry about certain issues that you might have with MMOs, like boss stills, or, you know, people killing the mob you needed when you're in the middle of a quest out in the open world. Which still happens. You'd think after all of these years and years of MMO, people would have learned some sort of MMO etiquette, but no. Another interesting thing they call genre-defining gameplay. And it seems there's going to be a whole lot of experimenting with your weapons, with your magic, and your fight styles. And I'm really excited to see what that means, because if I can be a bard who heals, I will be so happy. I'm very excited for the game. From the first time I heard of it and they released the little teaser of the guy standing at the anvil just hammering away and just the person talking in the background, I was kind of hooked on it, and I've been trying to keep up with it and keep my eyes out for it, and I fully plan to be getting it the moment it comes out. Comment down below and let me know if there are any games you'd like me to look into.